shit. Oh shit. I know y'all ready because I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about victory. Y'all gonna listen about victory on the Victory Talk podcast. Super excited for this episode, man. We're gonna get ripped and we're gonna get rich. Let's get it. Yeah. Yo, what's going on? This is an episode of the Victory Talk podcast. This is episode 200. If I'm not mistaken, this is episode 200? Episode 200 of the Victory Talk podcast. And you know what I'm saying? We got a lot we want to cover. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Diddy trial, but not on episode 200, man. I can't have him disrespecting my 200th episode, man. You know what I'm saying? With all that debauchery. But that shit is wild. What the people saying about him. I don't know if y'all been listening. That shit is wild. I don't even know if I want to repeat that. I don't want, the reason I'm not going to cover it, the main reason is because I don't want to say that shit on the internet and then somebody clip that shit up all crazy. And now I'm talking about motherfucking that shit. No, sir. Hey, I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto BBC, Gymnasium Jesus, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio. But I'm not alone. Nah, never alone. I got my co-host / producer, the best producer in the game, Nima, straight out of Iran.
Super excited. 200 episodes. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
200.
Come on, man. Right out the Middle East, you heard? You know what I'm saying? From the Middle East to South Miami. When you were growing up, you ever think you'd be producing a podcast in Miami, man? When you was growing up?
No. That was the fantasy.
That was the fantasy, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, dreams come true if you
manifestation.
Work hard.
Yes.
Message. All right. But that's not it, man. We also got Minovia. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend. She is listening. She's got she's taking control of the super chats, making sure that nobody come out here hating, talking crazy. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And and she gonna kick you out if you is talking crazy. All right. Listen. We got a sponsor for this. What? There's only one, right? Yeah, I think there's only one sponsor. Yeah. Thought Repellent. This episode 200 is brought to you by the good people at Thought Repellent. Thought Repellent is the easy to apply spray to keep the hose away. When you start getting money, start getting ripped, improving your money, muscle, and mindset, what starts to happen is you start getting bitches. But not all bitches should be gotten, right? There's some bitches that'll get you, right? And they'll fuck your whole life up, man. And those bitches are called thoughts, sluts, hoes, skanks, skeezers, Jezebels. You know what I'm saying? And we developed Thought Repellent to keep them away from you. So it's genetically engineered to only repel the DNA of those women. But regular women, good women, they'll see it and they'll be like, oh man, you smell great. But when the thoughts smell this shit, they might go into a little seizure or something. You know what I'm saying? They might start tripping out. All right. So you're going to need this by the summertime, right? Summer is 36 days away. Did you know that? And that's the thought breeding season. So we want to have this out. It's not a game. It's not a joke. This will really be out by summer, if and only if we get enough super chats. I don't see the notes, bro. If and only if we get enough super chats, right? All right. All of your super chats go towards development of Thought Repellent. right? We want to make sure you stay safe this summer for the thought breeding season. All right. You know, and but if it doesn't come out, you know whose fault it is? It's your fault. Yeah. You can blame yourselves. If some bitch say you got her pregnant, some bitch said you was hitting her or some shit and it didn't happen, could have stayed away with the thoughts, man. Could have stayed away with the thought repellent. But you were stingy. and that's what you get. I got some thought repellent. Nima got some spot repellent. You know what I'm saying? All right. Listen, we got a lot we want to talk about today. Oh, but before we get into it, also, I don't know if y'all noticed, we got a free Discord, right? It's called the Victory Unit Discord. And it accompanies this. I'm in there posting pretty much every day. I got free courses in there. Right? I got a free fat loss course called Direct Hit. It's like insanity, but it's like heterosexual. Like it's insanity, but like not gay. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. And it's a fat loss course that you follow along with me. All right. It's really good. I used to sell it, but I'm rich now, so I'm just giving it away. And I also got a course called the Baller Mindset. It's free in there. All right. So you make sure you go in there, join the Victory Unit Discord, and let's get it. All right. Yo, it's almost summertime. 36 days away. A lot of you motherfuckers want to burn fat and build muscle. We're gonna talk about how you can do that in this episode. Let's get it. Hold on, run it back. Run it one more time. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. It's almost summertime. Some of you motherfuckers is fat. Some of you motherfuckers is skinny. Some of you motherfuckers are skinny fat. Some of y'all are fat skinny. And this summer, you're going to want to be outside having fun with everybody else at the beach, the pool, the functions. You're gonna want to slide up on some big booty Latinas or big booty white girls. They got them now too. They just came out with them not long ago. You might want to get you one of them. Or you might want to get you a little black girl, man, a descendant of Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? No whatever type of bitch you want to start fucking this summer, you gonna need to get in shape to do that. You're gonna have to stop being skinny fat. You're gonna have to build muscle and burn fat. So girls will want to mate with you instead of you having to get escorts again this summer. All right. Instead of you having to just goon to OnlyFans this summer. Right. I'm gonna show you how to burn fat and build muscle between now and peak summertime. Now, again, it depends on how fucking fat you are, how much fat you're going to lose, right? And it depends on how skinny you are, on how much muscle you're going to build. You may be thinking, nigga, what? You can't burn fat and build muscle simultaneously. Okay, so pay attention. There are some circumstances where you can burn fat and build muscle at the same damn time. All right. These are the circumstances where you can do it. Now, before I tell you how, you should know. Oh, okay. Okay. The people who can do it are people who have just started working out, right? This is your first fitness video you ever watched. First of all, Congratulations, you starting your shit off right. You batting 1,000 right now. You skipped all the bullshit and came straight to the dope shit. You should be proud of yourself, right? If you one of them motherfuckers and it's your first year lifting, right, working out for real, you can build muscle and burn fat simultaneously your first year because your body's going through such a strenuous adaptation phase that it will be possible for you. If you've been training in the gym for real, for more than a year, then it's unlikely you'll be able to burn fat and build muscle simultaneously. But there's still hope for you, and I'm gonna show you how in this video, right? Because you've probably been doing it for the year. You still look like shit. That's how you ended up watching videos. Motherfucker, I don't watch videos on how to build muscle and burn fat. I make them. I'm making one right now. I do this shit. All right. You can also do it if you are on some sort of performance enhancement drugs. All right. If you're taking roids, Tren, yeah, I couldn't think of nothing else funny. I wanted to think of another one, the rule of thirds. You used to have a third one. It's like a comedy rule, but I couldn't think of. This is why people don't do this shit live. If you're taking roids, Tren, super soldier serum, whatever they gave Steve Rogers, if you got some of that shit, you can burn fat and build muscle at the same time. All right. I knew I would get it. I just need a little bit of time. I should have never doubted myself, Nima. Man, hold on, man. Let me stop the video just to give myself a shout out. The editor's gonna edit this part out, man. We just need to revel in my greatness for 1 second and let's get back into it. All right. If you are not one of them motherfuckers, it's going to be difficult for you to burn fat and build muscle simultaneously. There is a world where you can do it. And I'm going to show you how in this video, but you can't do it exactly at the same time, but you can do it in a certain time period. I'll make sense of that I'll make sense of the fucking bullshit sentence I just said in a minute. It will all be clear to you momentarily. However, you need to know that building muscle and burning fat, if it's at the same time, if it's possible, it's not optimal. Because think about fucking bodybuilders, right? These motherfuckers already have elite genetics. They're on tons of PEDs. That's why they all die super early. It's not about the years in your. It's not about the years in your life. It's about the life in your years. That's the mantra of a dying bodybuilder, right? And they have fucking the best nutrition coaches and the best bodybuilding coaches working with them. And they still don't try to build muscle and burn fat simultaneously. They go on huge bulks, get fat and gross for like half the year. Then they go on a huge cut and look fucking shredded for their show, right? They do that because it's most optimal, all right? That's what's most optimal, all right? So just because there is a world where you can do it at the same time, it's probable, but it's not optimal. It's not the best use of resources, right? However, I have a workaround for this for you. Yeah, I got a little workaround, all right? Now, again, let's talk about how the fucking pro bodybuilders do it normally. So first thing they do is they bulk. Right? They go on a bulk, and then they bulk until maybe they bulk until okay, this is going to be the bulk line. and it's gonna be the cut line. Right. So they start bulking, and they bulk until all year until they're fucking gross. This is the gross line right here. They bulk all year. Boom. And they're out here bulking, putting on muscle. And then they start going on a cut. Then they start going on a cut finally. Then they start going on the cut. I need more black lines. Black lines matter. All right. And then they go on a cut, and then they start cutting, right? So basically, they look like trash half the year, like we said. Oh, like trash half the year, like I said previously, right? You know, until they finally, until they cut, and then they finally start looking good. No diddy. That's what bodybuilders do, right? So let's just say this is like a year, right? What we're going to do, what I'm going to show you a method is how you can actually stay looking good all year and start building some muscle and burning fat, right? We're going to take the same philosophy, right? So what we're going to do is, So here's what we're going to do, right? We have our bulk phase and our cut phase. It looks like a road. It's the road to ripness. At the end of that road, at the end of the road, man, it's a 6-pack, confidence. Bitches who want to mate with you and have your black babies. All right. Instead of doing it for a whole motherfucking year, first thing we want to do, because a lot of you motherfuckers are skinny fat, first thing we're going to do is you're going to go on a cut, right? You're going to go on a cut, get as ripped as you want to be. Ripped as you want to be, right? Boom. And then immediately after that cut, you're going to go on. And then after that cut, you're going to go on a bulk, right? We don't get to the gross line. Again, remember, this is the gross line. It's when you look fucking whack, right? Matter of fact, we don't go there, right? What we do is, what I do this, and again, but I didn't make this shit up, right? I actually learned. I'll tell you where I learned it from for a minute, you know, but before I've been doing this for decades. You never see me looking gross or fat, and I've been on the motherfucking YouTube for like over a decade. You never see me looking like shit, you know, posting videos, multiple videos every week. Never see me looking like you. All right. So what you do is you cut. Sorry. All right. So boom, and then you go on a bulk, but you don't get to the gross line. You just bulk a little bit. You stay up here, and then you go on a cut again. You get back to where you want to be. Then you bulk a little bit, then you cut again, right? And the thing is, you bulk until you start feeling like your abs. You start feeling like you start getting a little fat. You don't wait till you're fucking gross. You wait, get a little fat. You can put on some extra body fat. All right. Then he's like, oh, time to go back on a cut. Right. How long should this last? Right. Oh, no. Here's the thing. No, the difference is when you do this, you basically You know, I drew this wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna redraw this shit, man. Just fucking hold on. I'm gonna start this part over. Sorry, editor. Roll the ripness. All right. Again, so first you cut. You want to cut until you're as ripped as you want to be. All right. Boom. Then you get there and then you bulk, but you start bulking again. You know, the green line is going to represent the bulk. All right. So they know what's up. No, not the green line. The blue line is going to represent the bulk. All right. Boom. So now we're bulking. Right. And then as soon as we start to get a little bit fat, what we do is we cut again to as ripped as you want to be. Boom. And we keep doing this over and over again. And I'll talk about how long you should do it each phase. But the blue line represents bulking, the red line represents cutting. And the beauty of this is not only do you stay looking good you stay looking good all year, but you can still, you're basically doing the same thing as the bodybuilder, is just shorter durations. I call it micro cuts and micro bulk. All right. This is very important because a lot of people will try to tell you that you can build muscle and burn fat simultaneously. But listen, man, the most anabolic thing you can do is put yourself in a caloric surplus, aka a bulk. Right. And I'll break that down for you in this video. Right. And the best thing you can do to lose fat is put yourself in a caloric. The best thing you do to burn fat is to put yourself in a caloric deficit, right? So we're just gonna do this the same way the bodybuilders do it, but we do it in shorter time frames instead of 6 month periods. And the reason it works so much better one of the reasons it works so much better for bodybuilders is they don't care if they're fucking fat during the off season. It doesn't matter, right? It's not a big deal. They only need to be ripped for a show. Me and you, we got to be ripped all year round, right? Because we want to get pussy all year round. I don't want my girlfriend looking at me, be like, damn, you used to look good. Now you look like shit. And then we got to go see the Michael B. Jordan movie or something. And she wishing I looked like him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. You don't want that. All right. I'll beat Michael B. Jordan's ass. We can do Creed 4 right now, nigga. I'm sorry, Michael, if you're watching this, I ain't mean to turn up on you like that, man. You seem like a good brother. Let's get serious, guys. Let's get serious. All right. Put you in a Michael B. coma, nigga. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, yeah. They only need to, and also when these bodybuilders do this shit, they're on motherfucking PDs. Remember, they're on PDs. So they're gonna build more muscle during the bulk than we will, and they'll put on less fat than we will during this bulk, right? Because they're on PEDs. And because they're on PEDs, when they cut, they'll retain more muscle and lose more fat because they're on PEDs. PEDs work really well. Don't they, Michael B. Jordan? All right. Fuck you, Nick. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay, let's get serious. Oh, and another thing is the reason we don't want to get fat during a bulk. The reason this is so detrimental when we do this shit that bodybuilders do is because fat cells don't go away. So I'm gonna take you niggas back to high school biology right quick. The way cells work. Some people erroneously think that, oh man, if you get fat, that you could turn that fat into muscle. When I hear that, I just think, damn, the fucking United States public school system really they need to pay the teachers more. Because cells can do a few things. They can die. No, cells can do a few things. They can fucking grow and they can divide, but they cannot transform into other kind of cells. All right. We are not X-Men. All right. Eyeball cells don't turn into skin cells. Like, cells do not transform into other kind of cells. All right. Muscle does not turn into fat. But here's what happens with fat cells. When you get fat and you start bulking, the fat cells grow, they expand, they get large, right? And then what happens? They divide and then they get large. So what happens is if you go on a bulk, you will end up with more fat cells. You may think, okay, I'll just go on a cut and I'll get rid of the fat cells. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You do not get rid of fat cells when you have them. When you get new fat cells, you do not get rid of them. They get smaller. They can get super smaller, but the fat cells don't die. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right? So here's a fucking study talking about fat cells don't die. Fat cells just don't die. Basically, you know what? This is not the best one I want to show you. Hold up. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. The ghost of Steve Jobs was in my motherfucking MacBook, man. Acting crazy. All right. So basically, this is the National Institute of Health. I ain't got to tell y'all about that publication. Y'all know all about it, man. The National Institute of Health, right? But basically, in this study, it's talking about fat cells in your teen years or any years. They linger for a lifetime. When you get new fat cells, they stay forever, right? This is why it's easier for fat motherfuckers to get fat again, because they got more fat cells. The fat cells only have to grow. They don't have to divide. You know what I'm saying? The only way to get rid of fat cells, new ones, once you make them, to get rid of them, is get a liposuction or some shit, right? And here's another study backing that up. Just talking about dynamics of fat cell turnover in humans, basically. Yeah, I don't want to read all that shit. But anyway, fat cells don't go away once you get them, right? So we don't want to make new fat cells, motherfucking. Right. And that's what happens when you go on these big ass bulks. You actually make new fat cells, and you don't want to do that. Right. And the micro cut and the micro bulk prevents that from happening. Right. So again, let's go over the rules. First thing you want to do, you're going to cut. You want to get, especially if you skinny fat. I don't care if you're skinny fat or whatever you got going on. First, you go on a cut and you get as ripped as you want to be. What does that look like? There's a few different ways to do it. Right. But the number one thing you should do, first, you have to be in a caloric deficit, meaning you are burning more calories than you consume. All right. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself some sort of fitness tracker. All right. You can get yourself an Apple Watch. No, you can get yourself a Fitbit, a Garmin, Apple Watch. You can get yourself a Samsung watch. If you a real nerd, you can get yourself a Samsung watch, you know. I don't know anybody with a Samsung watch who's ever had vaginal sex with a woman. I'm sure they're out there. I just ain't seen them in the wild. As far as I know, I think a Samsung watch is the best watch to buy if you've taken a vow of celibacy. And you want to make sure that no one is sexually attracted to you in any capacity. Get yourself a Samsung watch. Get you one of those, man. You know what I'm saying? That's Yeah, that's what it's that shit. No, that's all. That is pussy repellent on your arm. Go ahead. Ask your female friends, your mothers, your sisters. Have you ever fucked a guy with a Samsung watch? After they get done throwing up in their mouth a little bit, they'll respond, "Ugh, no." I'm sure they're fine devices, though. Samsung makes some good devices, you know. And if Samsung ever wants to pay me to endorse their ugly ass watch, I'll take back everything I just said. Johnny Samsung, if you're listening, if you're listening, Johnny, I'll wear 3 of them motherfuckers, man. I have one on my ankle and on both wrists if you give me enough money. But up until then, that's the goofiest shit you'll wear. You can get. All right. I digress. Get yourself a fitness tracker. My preferred fitness tracker is the Oura Ring. I used to wear the Apple Watch. I used to wear the Whoop. All right. I used to wear the Whoop. But I don't know. It doesn't match all my attire. If you wear a suit with the fucking Whoop, you look like, I don't know, you look like Spy Kids or some shit, man. You look like a goddamn cyber bully with that shit on, you know? So, nah, I'm cool. It's just kind of dorky. And I used to wear the Apple Watch until I, started got into like nice watches, high horology. You know what I'm saying? I started getting these Swiss watches. All the jokes that came up in my head were racist. But they funny, so I want to say, you know what? Until I started wearing these Swiss watches, and this don't track my heart rate, but increases your mama's heart rate when she sees me, increases your bitch's heart rate when she sees it. Anyway, Oura Ring blends in seamlessly with all my devices, tracks my calories. Why is it important to track the calories you burn? All right, because we want to put ourselves in a caloric deficit. So we need, meaning we're burning more calories than we consume. All right, so we need so we should know how many calories we're burning, and these fitness trackers will help you with that. All right, they're not 100% accurate, but we want to make sure we're in a good range, right? So that's step one. Get yourself a fitness tracker. I prefer the Oura Ring. It's probably the coolest one. I think Samsung makes a ring. I'm sure it's fine. But then you got to have a Samsung phone. The problem with Samsung's ring is you got to have a Samsung phone to work with it. The Oura Ring works with any phone, And again, if you hate pussy, go ahead and get yourself an Android Samsung phone. Start sending bitches green texts. You will accidentally save yourself until marriage with that shit. But you'll marry a guy who's also a nerd. Anyway. And if that's what you're into, that's cool. It's not the 90s. It's not hammer time. Love whoever you want to love with your Samsung devices. Okay. What the fuck was I talking about? Okay. The next thing we need to do is you got to get your phone, right, and download MyFitnessPal. And what you want to do is start tracking all the calories you eat, right? You got to track everything in MyFitnessPal. Now, this is the part where motherfuckers start acting like some real bitches. Because they started, I don't want to track my calories. Do I have to track my calories? And they act like it's the fucking most difficult thing in the world. They start crying about it. Like I asked them to do motherfucking calculus or some shit. All you got to do is put numbers in your fucking phone. It's not difficult. It's not hard. Right? What is if you think it's difficult, then you really need to reassess your associations with with challenges, right? Because I see people doing real difficult shit every day, right? You know, like I see these men hanging from the fucking building, cleaning the windows in Miami, like a Latino Spider-Man. Like that's difficult. I'm just saying you got to put numbers in your phone so you stop being a fat fuck. Right? And it works really. And let me show you why you should track your calories. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on, let me find it. Give me a second. Right. So there was a study done by Duke University. Right. This is Duke University. They had the study done. What they did, they got a bunch of fucking fat boys like you. And they said, hey, fat ass, all we need you to do is track your motherfucking calories in MyFitnessPal. They had them use MyFitnessPal for 3 months. Right. They didn't give them no diet plan. They didn't give them no workout plan. They didn't have these motherfuckers doing keto. They didn't have these motherfuckers doing vegan diet, paleo diet, none of that shit. You know, they just said, track what you eat instead of just putting anything in your mouth like a whore. Right? Just fucking put it in MyFitnessPal, fat boy. And then what they noticed was after 3 months of this shit, you got it, homie. After 3 months of this shit, these motherfuckers lost an average of 5 pounds. Right? No plan. Like you got to remember, 5 pounds in 3 months is not impressive until you remember they did nothing. They had no diet plan, no workout plan, nothing. All they did was track their fucking calories. Because once you start tracking, you start being more mindful of what you eating, right? You start making better decisions. And what happens is people start to realize how many calories they eat every day. Most people have no fucking clue how many calories they eat every day. I had my girl, she was tracking her calories at once. She was trying to get like me. You become like the people you around. And you know, she Dominicana, right? She's from Dominic. Well, she's really from the Lower East Side, right? But her heritage is Dominican, right? Her parents barely speak English, you know, and like they straight out the huts and shit, you know, and and she started tracking her calories, right? And she eating all this Dominican food, right? Plantains. She eating motherfucking rice. All types of fucking rice and all types of Dominican shit, you know. Sancocho. What? She eating that mongo fungo. That shit they be eating, that mongo fungo made from the plantains. She eating all that shit up. That mango con huevos. And she ain't had no idea how many calories in it. And then she was trying to cut for, like, you know, a summer vacation we was going on, and she put that shit in MyFitnessPal, and she was like, holy shit, I'm out of calories for the day after eating that mango fungo con huevos. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, Dios mío, mi amor. No más. Hold up. No más desayuno para you. No más desayuno para tú. And you know, and I had to fucking slap the plate out her hand, right? And I ain't slap her. We don't hit the bitches. Chris Brown taught us that. We all learned that from Chris Brown. Can't hit the bitch. You can't hit the bitches. All right. Thanks for Chris. We got to thank Chris for making that sacrifice for us. We wouldn't have learned. Anyway, She had no idea. I say all that to say the average motherfucker, including you, has no idea how many calories you're eating each day. But once you start once these fat boys in this study started finally tracking this shit, they started making better decisions. Now imagine you actually have a real fucking fat loss plan, right? Imagine you have a real fat loss plan. I'm about to give you one, right? I'm about to give you one. You about to get one from the king of ketosis. You about to get a fat loss plan from the one and only Gymnasium Jesus. I'm very excited for you right now. Get your pen and pads out. All right. So when we're going on this cut, remember we got our fitness tracker, right? We got MyFitnessPal. How many calories should we eat? Right. Well, we could just do it on the fly with me. Okay. So what I prefer you do, go ahead and open up MyFitness. Go ahead and open up ChatGPT. Let me do it too. ChatGPT from the good folks at OpenAI. All right. And you don't have to use ChatGPT. You could use Gemini, or you can use Claude if you swing that way, you know, or you can use Gronk if you nasty. You know what I'm saying? If you like a little bit of racism. If you like a little bit of racism in your AI, go ahead and use Gronk. We all like a little bit of racism sometimes. All right. And that's what Gronk is for. All right. So all right. I'm gonna open up ChatGPT on my phone. Sometimes I like to talk to this hoe live, and I'll be like, and I'm gonna say, I'm 200 pounds. I lift weights 5 days a week. I do cardio 3 to 4 times a week. Unless my girl's on a period, then it's like a little less. And I want to lose 1 pound of fat per week. How many calories should I consume? You tell ChatGPT that shit. Hold on, this whole thinking about it. So she gonna do a whole lot of calculations for you. My ChatGPT is a girl, cause you know I ain't keeping no dude in my pocket, man. That's some Diddy shit. All right. Yeah. All right. So here's what Shorty said, man. You know, she did a whole bunch of fucking calculations and shit, calculated all this stuff. And the reason, so here's the thing with the prompt, you have to tell her your weight and tell her how active you are, right? Tell her your activity. So your shit might be different here. Give your activity level. I didn't mean for her to hear that, but ChatGPT's always listen. All right. I thought, and then I said I want to loop. So you tell her your activity level. Then you tell her what your goal is, right? You and then tell her to fucking tell that shit for you, right? Boom. All right, 1 pound a week. She estimates my total daily energy expenditure, right? She categorizes me as very active. Cool. Metabolic rate, all the shit. She did all the math. Blah 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 blah. Right. Final answer. 2,600 calories. All right, cool. Then you hit her with this. You say, make me a diet plan that hits those calories. But I also need to get 1 pound of, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, a lot of you guys may be thinking, man, I heard so-and-so fitness influencer on YouTube saying you only need like 0.7 or 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Because he read some studies. He read some studies on YouTube. And I'm not disagreeing with that YouTuber, whatever one, they all saying that shit, or the studies they read. But you got to remember, those studies were conducted in controlled environments. Right. So the scientists, the science nerds who were doing those studies knew exactly how much protein each participant was getting. Right. You and I live in the real world. Right. And in the real world, the FDA allows food labels to be off by 20% in either direction, 20% in either direction. So what does that mean? If you get some shit that says it has 10 grams of protein, legally, it could have only 8 grams of protein. It might have 12, but it might have 8, right? Now, it's not bad to get too much protein, but it is bad to not get enough, especially when you're cutting, because you need the protein to retain the body weight. So we're just going to do a pound, right? Because even though you might only need 0.8, we're going to go for a whole pound because that makes up for the potential 20% margin that the FDA allows food labels to be off. Does that make sense? Right? 1 pound. Right? I don't know why nobody's talking about this shit. How come they don't know that? How come they don't know that? Maybe they should shut the fuck up. You know it now because you started watching it, because you watched this video. Congratulations, man. I'm real proud of you. All right. So you put that prompt in there, hit the button, send that shit to Skynet. And then it's gonna come back with your shit, man. Boom! It tells you what it's going. It makes a plan. So these are the macros you're gonna be hitting each day. You can adjust the macros too, right? Boom. This bitch got you on this. Oh, she got it on high protein, moderate fat, low carb. Okay, so the reason she's doing low carbs is because she knows me, like ChatGPT knows me. You know what I'm saying? So she knows I'm keto. It's gonna be different for you when you put it in, right? I'm keto, so she got me at 50 grams of carbohydrates. She knows what's up. That bitch knows what's up, right? She wrote me a workout, a diet plan, right? What you notice is there's probably gonna be no chicken breast in this shit because she know I don't like chicken breast. I told her, hey, bitch, chicken breasts are for women. Don't ever put that shit in my thing, right? She got me? Chicken thighs. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So now you got your shit. Now you got your shit, man. You got your game plan, right? And here's the beauty of it. You got a diet that's going to put you in a caloric deficit, and you're tracking how many calories you burn to make sure you're in a caloric deficit, because fat loss is just math, right? So let's say, fuck, where do I go to get it? Oh yeah, here. How to stop being a fat ass. Okay. Hold on. So now the next thing you got to do is start tracking all this shit every day. I got a habit tracker that you can download. It's called the Victory Vision Planner. You can track all your goals in there and any habits you want, but you need to pay attention to the part where you put in your fucking calories burned and calorie consumed. So let's say this is important you track because you got to be consistent, right? You got to make sure this works, right? So let's say calories consumed. Remember, we're supposed to get 2,600 each day. Oh, maybe I can just expedite this?
You just need to enter so it highlights the.
Oh, okay.
No. It's good.
Oh, that's too much. That's too much. All right, we're gonna get there, guys. All right, let's say we're doing this shit for a week. Boom. All right, so we track how many calories we consume, but we want to track how many calories we burn too. So in your Victory Vision Planner, it's going to have this formula in here that does it. This is just a small version of it. So let's say we're burning, man. Let's say, man, I want to burn a total of 3,600 calories, right? And your fitness tracker will track this for you. The Apple Watch will track this for you. And this is total calories, not just calories from exercise. Boom. And then you put that in your tracker. And guess what? You'll see the deficit you're in. You see how many calories you burn for the week. And this is important because every pound of fat you want to lose, you have to burn 3,500 calories, right? If you want to burn, this shit will have us at 2 pounds of fat per week, right? Because we're going to be burning twice as much of that, like, 7,000 calories, right? So that put us at 2 pounds a week, right? This is just an example, right? Because ChatGPT was assuming that we wasn't going hard. We're going to be going hard, right? Or let me just make it simple so they get it. Right? Yeah, let me just do this. Keep it simple. So you're tracking with your fitness tracker how many calories. Okay, they got to edit out the first one. All right, you're tracking in your fitness tracker how many calories you're burning each day, and these are total calories, not just calories from exercise, right? So let's just say you set that goal for 3,100 each day, which is fucking light work, right? Boom, you'll burn 500 calories a day equals 3,500, which will have you exactly burning 1 pound of fat per week, because every pound of fat you want to lose, you have to burn an extra 3,500 calories. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat, right? So fat loss is just math. That's why we got the tracker, and that's why we tracking our macros, because it's just math. We don't want to leave the guesswork with this. How long do we do this for? Well, the first time you do it until you get as ripped as you want to be, even if you're skinny fat, right? You want to do it till you get as ripped as you want to be. And some people tell you to bulk first. I think that's so fucking stupid for a lot of reasons I talked about initially, but also because building muscle is a more difficult process biologically, right? The muscles have to break down and then grow back. Fat cells just have to shrink. Like, you can lose fat way faster than you can build muscle. And if you're skinny fat right now and you just get skinny, you'll immediately look better, and you can do that faster. If you start bulking first, what's going to happen is you're going to get a little fatter. You won't be as skinny, but you'll be a little fatter. And the problem with that is, even if you put on some muscle over some fat, because if you started off fat, right? You skinny fat or fat skinny, right? And if you put on little muscle on top of some fat, it won't look as impressive. But sometimes, I swear to God, when I cut, people look at me and be like, yo, man, did you get bigger? Pause. And I was like, nah, I actually got leaner. I got smaller, but I look bigger because of the proportions, right? My waist is smaller, so it makes my shoulders look bigger. You can see the more cuts in my arms and shit. And I look more impressive, even though I didn't get bigger. I actually got smaller. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sometimes, I've trained a lot of, I've been a trainer for over 25 years, and I train women, and they said they want to get, I want to get my butt bigger. I'm like, yeah, but you kind of fat, bitch, right? So we're going to get your butt bigger, but we got to get rid of that fupa first. You know what I'm saying? We got to get rid of those, we got to get rid of some of those love handles, so you don't, those chicharroles, right? So you don't have to only date black guys this summer, right? You can choose it if you can date them if you choose to, but it won't be your only option because you're so fat, right? We need to get rid of that first, you know. And then here's the thing: once they got leaner, that ass looked fatter, right? Because the waist was smaller. She looked like an hourglass. She looked like a motherfucking hourglass instead of looking like a 2-liter. She looked like a Coke bottle instead of a 2-liter. You know what I'm talking about? She was curvy instead of blocky. You know what I'm saying? She looked like Jessica Rabbit instead of SpongeBob SquarePants. You feel me? Same goes for you, skinny fat boy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to look more impressive as soon as you get leaner. Then when we put some muscle on top of your lean frame, you're going to look way better. No diddy. All right. And all right. We're going to get into the bulking phase in a minute, but y'all got to bring the homie Young Candlestick up in here to talk about that market recap.
What's up, Brandon?
Yo, what's going on, player?
You know, the stock market is going through a V bounce, and we're going to break it down.
Damn, it's bouncing like a motherfucker. That's like almost all-time highs.
That's like a rocket ship. It's really ever since it's been the Trump pump right over here. I feel like there was a lot of long-term buying and short-term buying that day. This is like a vertical movement. And sometimes vertical price action, when it breaks, it can break fast. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but what I have on the chart here is a volume profile. So what normal volume shows is volume by time. So the current amount of transactions over a certain period of time, in this case, the day. But when we have volume profile, it's the amount of transactions at a certain price. And what's cool about this is you can see important support and resistance points, important magnet points. So right over here, this big ass red line right over here, it's 560. This is called our point of control. So if the market were to sell off, I don't think it's going to, at least for another few weeks or months. Right here, 560 can be a dip buy. And that sell-off would likely be triggered once this steep trend line gets broken. The next resistance point is about 597. Okay? A big key of why the market is rallying, there's many factors, of course, supply and demand. Despite all of the economic data, we had a negative GDP report, which technically is kind of bearish fundamentally. You know, we had retail sales showing some slowdown. So people aren't, spending as much money in the economy. But what we could have is like a rolling recession where there's kind of like some sectors fall out of rotation and some sectors come into rotation. I'm going to talk about which sectors I want to buy and which sectors I want to short in a bit. Okay. So when we're looking at the dollar, this is a big factor in the market right now. So the dollar took a fat shit, ever since the beginning of January, the dollar dropped, 11%. The entire US dollar, the entire currency dropped 11%. And this is having a lot of impacts on gold, silver, but also in foreign markets. And so I want to bring up EWG because, Brandon, you've been talking about this for a while. EWG. I think the setup is now. I think it's a buy point literally today or at least tomorrow.
EWG,
Yep. I think that EWG, Germany, it's actually the largest economy in the European Union. And when the dollar weakens, other stock markets can tend to outperform. So we're starting to see some relative strength in foreign markets like EWG. So I'm looking at buying shares of EWG, maybe some call options on EWG. That's something to consider. If we take a look at EWC, this is actually Canada's stock.
Canada. Yeah, man.
This is
the 51st state.
Market. And this is just pretty much straight up. It's even stronger than the S&P 500.
Jesus Christ.
I know. And so you can take a look at.
You're at all-time highs, huh?
Oh, yeah. All-time highs, I believe. Just let me double check. Yep. All-time highs. Fresh breakout too. Jesus. And so when we take a look at Euro USD, so the value of the Euro versus the US dollar. So as this goes up, your Euros buy more European goods and the dollar buys less European goods. If this starts to rally, that can put a lot of pressure on even the US, not so much the US markets, but can help out the Canadian stock markets. And you'd see that follow on the dollar. So we're just doing a lot of different, we're doing intermarket analysis right now. So if we take a look at the dollar, as the dollar goes up, gold can go down. But if the dollar goes down, gold goes up. So gold, it's still just hanging out there. It's still consolidating. That was kind of our base case.
I'm out of my gold longs. I made a lot of money with it, but I'm out.
Yeah. And there'll be some new setups, like gold is gapping up after hours right now. Silver, I still think silver has a little bit more opportunity than gold. It's kind of coiling up in this bull flag pattern. So if SLV can really break above 31, that's going to be a really good trade because you just buy those call options and hold them for a few months. And by the way, none of this is financial advice. None of this is an offer to buy or sell any stock or security, all for educational purposes only. Okay. And so when we're looking at, other markets, I was talking about TSM. So this is a American Depository Receipt, an ADR, and you're starting to see stocks like TSM start to do really well. I think that if the dollar weakens, TSM can really start to shine and hit all-time highs. So that's one of my favorite semiconductor stocks, TSM. Yeah. I also like AVGO. This is independent of currency talks. But yeah, AVGO, we talked about buying in this 160 zone, 150 zone. And now I just sit there and wait. I'm up about 40%. If it were to pull back, like with the market, check out the volume profile. These can be some decent buy points, the potential support areas.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. Now I want to quickly go into some individual stocks.
I got a lot of questions on some individual stocks, but I'll let you do your thing first.
Okay. Disney, we talked about buying a lot near $80 a share. Whoa. Disney, boom, 36%. It's a bit overbought. I would let that come down to the point of control. But Disney fair value is 115. Tesla, we talked about for a while. Victory Trades members are profiting from a Tesla breakout over 300. Boom, 16% gain right there. I am bullish on Tesla long term, even though they may be fucking up with the marketing.
Yeah. Tesla's going crazy right now. Yeah,
it's a good day trading stock. It's a good swing trading stock. It tends to trend well when it gets those breakouts. So that's what I like about it. I can play it long, short. I don't care. Brandon, you've been talking about Axon for a while. Just made new all-time highs. This looks bullish. Even tomorrow, if it's continuing all-time highs, maybe a day trade 0 DTE call option. Victory Trade members profited from this as well. They're a bit expensive, the 0-day call options. Maybe like a bullish put credit spread could be an idea.
When he says Victory Trades, now if you guys ever want to trade with us, right? Go on our Discord, hit up Greg. This link's in the description. Go on the Discord, hit up Greg's a young candlestick. Say, yo, I want to learn. I want to join Victory Trades, and he'll point you in the right direction. Victory Trades, you get Greg's trade alerts straight to your phone, and you get to trade with us every morning. Like we trade the market open. I trade futures. Greg trades a little bit of everything, and I just trade futures in the morning. And we call that our setups. We have a lot of fun and make a lot of money together. It's dope.
Brandon, you crushed it this morning. That was some fat profits. That was so cool. Congratulations on the success. More to come.
Thanks, man.
All right. So we talked about Tesla, Axon. Another one that is catching my eye is UNH. So we actually bought this morning in Victory Trades right near like the 260 level. Since then, getting a 4% gain. UNH got absolutely hammered. Look at this downtrend, like big breakdown gap, just from this pivot down 60%. I believe that they had an investigation of like Medicare fraud. And so it looks like some people knew of that news beforehand. Today we get the gap down. This looks like capitulation. And what that means is where it's so oversold, everybody that wanted to sell has already sold. If there's no more sell orders, all it takes is a little bit of buying and the stock can like rocket ship back up. Okay, so UNH, keep your eyes on it. Even for, again, this isn't advice, a longer term investment. The fair value on United Healthcare stock is $530 a share. So the current stock price is at $270. It's not necessarily like a double, but it could. Even just to the point of control, $490 could be a good long-term exit on UNH shares. Okay. So that's United Healthcare. Now, what are some weaker sectors or stocks that I might want to short? So XBI is the biotech sector, and this has been pretty weak. When Trump said that pharmaceuticals, you need to pay your fair share, you need to lower the drug prices. That can affect XBI quite a bit. It's a very manipulated sector. It's got a lot of legislative risk, but even still, I'm looking at potentially shorting XBI underneath 75.50. So I'm going to set a price alert right there. And the stop just has to be like a daily trailing stop. Okay. I've been short on SRPT, took a lot of profits on that, but I do think it has lower prices to come. Sarepta Therapeutics. I'm looking for a short on Apple. Apple has a lot of China exposure. And so far, even though the tariffs, we got a deal and the market loved that, it doesn't mean that the tariffs are done. So like sometimes there can be a delayed effect. So Apple, technically there's not really any good setups, but I'm looking for relative weakness in Apple. So that means if the overall market is green, Apple will only be slightly green. If the market is red, Apple will be super red. That's what I mean by relative weakness on Apple. And then also Affirm. I want to build a short position on Affirm. This is the buy now, pay later program. It's going to be tough for them to make good money on those margins. And especially if there's going to be defaults, that can affect Affirm. We kind of have this like channel. And if this channel starts to break down, I'd like to see Affirm test this like $40 level. Okay. So those are the weak stocks. Now I just briefly want to go over the relative strength. XLU. This is a defensive sector, pays 3% a year, and it's on the verge of a breakout. This isn't like a sector or ETF, the utility sector. It doesn't tend to break out fast or well, but you can grab shares and just collect a nice dividend. And also, we need those utility companies to power all your chat GPT messages. Okay. So that's XLU. And then also XLV. XLV has actually been relatively weak recently, but I think longer term, this is a great buying opportunity for me, mostly because AI advancements in medical technology, they can start to really have high margins. And I think healthcare is going to be very, very important, especially if we're going to live longer. A lot of people saying we might live to be 190, 300.
That's what's up.
That's exciting.
Because that means the motherfucking the interest of compound longer.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why you want to live longer for compound interest. Yeah.
You want to start a long-term portfolio, the compound interest, by the time you're 190.
Yeah.
We'll be tripping by then.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're working on the drugs to make people live longer, and you will live longer as long as you don't fuck with me. All right, let's keep going.
It's a very good point. And don't you want to invest in that so that you can live longer and get paid to live longer?
Come on, man.
I
Let's
do
go.
like XLV if you have a really long time horizon. Okay. Those are the main things I wanted to cover. What stocks do you guys have? Super chat.
All right. So you got a super chat, and we're going to get to it in a second, man. But first of all, guys, if you want to trade with us or you get Greg's get Greg's trade alerts right straight to your phone. It's not free, but you tell him you want to join Victory Trades. You get his trade alert straight to your phone, and you can trade futures with us in the morning. Listen, Greg, you ain't see this, man, but I took another trade like after we got off. Can you share the screen on my iPad? I took a fucking picture of it. So what I do is I trade with we can't put it up. I trade with 20 accounts as well. I had funded accounts. We in Victory Trades we teach you how to set that up and get approved. So the funded accounts, and I use a copy trader to copy my trades, and that was today, bro. This is a big green day.
That's amazing. That's like 20 grand one day. 20 grand in one day.
There are 20 some change.
Man, let's keep it up.
Yeah, come on, man. You know what it is. I want to. You got a super chat though. Somebody want to. Let's get to super chat before we get in.
Okay, Marquez says sold my TTWO calls before earnings by the dip. So this is Take Two Interactive. This is the GTA stock, right? Okay. So the last time I broke this down, I believe I was breaking this down for you. I said, hey, you can grab a dip buy at 220. Look at that, 220 perfectly dips. Now it's at 232. It looks like it did report earnings after hours. And so now it's down at 225. So what I'm looking at this earnings, release right here is whenever an earnings reaction goes down with low volume. So whatever the earnings reaction is, look at the volume. The volume looks really low. That means not a lot of people were interested in it. So I actually would say this potentially could be a dip buy, because if it's dropping on low volume, it can zip right back up. Conversely, if a stock pumps after earnings on super low volume, it means like not a lot of people are paying attention to it. It can drop. So I would say monitor the intraday price action, set some ranges, draw some support and resistance levels. Maybe you could take an opening range breakout trade. You could also join victory trades, and you could ask me about TTWO and I'll break it down for you live. That's something to think about too. So yeah, I would say it could be. There are better opportunities in my opinion, but it depends on what your time frame is as well. Are you looking to buy the dip for like a year, or are you day trading this?
Yeah,
two different trades.
Nav got another question. The homie Nav got a question for Greg.
Okay, what's a copy trader and who?
Oh, so he's asking about what I said. So it's basically it's my trade. So I have one account that I trade off of, and then the copy trader copies the other 19 accounts I have. So I have 20 funded accounts. Mm-hmm. With a prop firm, and I trade with one of them, and then the copy trader is software that copies my trades, the trades that I make, right? But I called out all them trades on
all of them.
I told them where my buy orders were, And
there you go. That's the money right there. Yeah. So the way copy trading works is you have a leader account and then you have follower accounts. So whatever your main account is, you can make that your leader account. Yeah. That'll get the best fills. And then what happens is the system duplicates all those orders and disperses them across all the other accounts. It's efficient.
We show people how to we show y'all how to set that up in victory trades.
Yeah, that's in the futures course that's included with victory trades. I show you how to set it up.
All right, I got a question about some stocks, man. Ticker symbol PAYC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Paycom software.
Paycom. Let's check it out.
They make like payroll software shit, but look at it.
I really like that. That's a bullish chart.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say besides it's a bullish chart. There's a dip buy at 240. There's a breakout setup over all-time highs. 240,
right? That's around the 240 area. That's where you would if it dips down there, that's where you buy, right? I mean, it's high basing now.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where there's two setups. So there's the dip buy at 240. Just make sure there's a little bit of support first before going in there. And then there's also the breakout setup over all-time highs, and your stop would go underneath today's low around like 253. I like that. If we take a look at the options chain, options aren't super liquid, so you would have to trade shares on this. Okay? Unless you want to just buy like one call option, because you want to reduce your position size if the liquidity is thinner. But if you're just going with shares, you can slap on 50, 100, 200 shares and ride the wave. I like the dividend too, 37 cents a share.
Come on, man.
Get paid.
Just stop. It's a good. I think I'm about to go long on that.
I'm gonna set some alerts so that we can cover it while we're live.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like the Netflix setup. I made a 110% profit return today on Netflix.
Today.
Yeah, just today. This breakout, beautiful breakout over 1160, and I sold right at 1183. So
come on, man.
The reason I bring up Netflix is it's just like Paycom. It's a similar setup. That coil in front of all-time highs. Yeah, it's one of my favorite setups because there's such a high probability that you're going to get paid because all sellers are underwater and it's finding new price discovery. The auction is moving higher. It's similar to Uber as well. Uber made all-time highs. We talked about that breakout over 85. So again, a lot of these stocks are in similar positions. Please note, though, that if the S&P 500 breaks support, that most of these stocks will drop.
Yeah. Well, listen, speaking of if you like all-time highs, you're going to like the next stop. This is a victory. This is a victory unit favorite. Hims.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can get Ozempic, Viagra, whatever, fucking Rogaine, motherfucking Minoxidil, all that, the hair shit. You can get hair shit, ED shit. But look at
boner pills are paying off. We've been talking
man.
about it.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's just one of those things where it's like it's a bit too high to buy unless you're just willing to tolerate drawdown. In terms of location, I like the $38 per share level. So maybe if you could get like 2 or 3 down days, you could sell 38 strike cash secured puts. Other than that, though, it's for me personally, the way I'd look at this is I would just day trade this. The intraday momentum and volatility is really good. Yeah, 12% drop, 8% rally. Like it's just wild. But if it could base for a while up here, like let's say it goes sideways for a couple of days, then you could take a breakout setup and see if it can't break that all-time high.
Oh. Well, if you like stocks that go sideways for a couple of days, what about ticker symbol CPNG?
CPNG.
Yeah.
Coupang.
Coupang. You know that Coupang.
Coupang.
The good people at Coupang. What they talking about, man?
This looks good. Again, you're
good
finding some
setup,
good
right?
stocks, good charts.
Yeah.
It looks, I would just be neutral / bullish, mostly because it broke the highs today, but it zipped underneath. It's not bearish, but it's just not super bullish. It's neutral / bullish. If we take a look at like the weekly time frame, looks great. Monthly time frame, there is some resistance. Monthly at about 31. So a good price target of 31. Structuring a stop is kind of tricky on this. I would set my stop at like 23 because then you have the point of control as support and you have this big breakup candle from earnings to support the stock. But yeah, neutral / bullish is my rating on that.
All right. I mean, there's a lot of the cover, man. Microsoft. So Microsoft owns ChatGPT. Yeah, they do.
Have you tried the $200 a month ChatGPT version?
Nah,
I haven't. I'm tempted though. I feel like it's like
I don't have a use case for it. Like, I don't have a use case for it.
Yeah, because the $20 a month version is just so great. I'm tempted just to like try it for a month. Maybe like fly in robots to my house.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. But what the stock talking about?
Bro, Microsoft is almost at all-time highs.
Just
a month ago is like breaking down. This is crazy. This is like a lot of patterns that are happening in the market are broadening formations. So that's where we're making lower lows and higher highs, which is the weirdest thing to trade. It's a megaphone, right? Looks like a megaphone. All I got to say is it's bullish. It's a bit too far to chase right here. I would have loved just some sort of dip. Sometimes you just don't get the dip, and that's why you have long-term shares, long-term investments, sometimes leap call options. I think if Microsoft could sell to this 400 level, I like leap calls. It definitely can go higher in the short term. It's a bit too risky for any short-term trades to buy up here. And the Microsoft, I just want to double check on Morningstar's fair value as that can be a good guide as where it could potentially go. So as that loads up, but Microsoft, I believe the fair value is around 520. Okay. 505. So, there's not a ton of margin. I'd rather wait for a dip, but I like the stock still.
Speaking of okay, not dips, but look at Bitcoin right now.
Bitcoin. Yeah. Let's check it out. So Bitcoin still strong. It's bull flagging in front of all-time highs.
Come on, man.
Nothing bearish about that.
Yeah.
Coinbase was announced that it's going to be put into the S&P 500.
That's right.
And that was this big gap up right here. Breakout over 214. This is an evening star reversal setup. So maybe crypto tends to like sell once there's like really good news, but it like runs up leading into the good news.
Yeah.
So, Bitcoin, maybe short-term neutral / bear, but longer-term bull. We talked about that IBIT.
Even wait a minute. Why are you saying short-term? Even it's doing a high base, man. Like, explain that to me. It's a high base.
So Coinbase is kind of like a correlated asset to Bitcoin. And if Coinbase is going to do an evening star reversal, it just means that there's more pressure short-term just to the downside. However, that gets completely negated if Bitcoin just breaks the bull flag up, right? Like the futures markets on Bitcoin are up. If we take a look at the daily time frame, I'm going to clear the drawing set. I mean, yeah, it's a rally flag. Bitcoin, it's a simple
It's a
setup.
high base.
Just
No?
so you're correct. And just
Hmm.
because something's a high base, it doesn't mean that it has to go up. It can break the
That's
high
true.
base bearish. It's just more likely to break bullish. You're correct.
You got it.
Over 106,000 would be your entry trigger, and you'd look for all-time highs, and you can duplicate this last flagpole, and that would put Bitcoin at about 118,000. So Bitcoin buy over 106,000, stop loss 101,000, take profit 118,000.
I've been dollar cost averaging into the IBIT, you know, the Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And even that weekly support was indeed really, really strong support. And we did buy Bitcoin here in victory trades. I didn't buy a ton though. I should have bought more. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. All right. Cool, man. All right. Listen, Greg, thank you so much, guys. If you want to like trade with us, with Greg and I, you know what I'm saying? Go to Discord, hit up a Young Candlestick, say, listen, I want to join victory trades. Right. You can get Greg's trade alert straight to your phone, and you can trade with us every morning. Every morning I trade futures, and Greg teaches how to trade futures, how to set up, how to get funded accounts, so you don't even have to use your own money. Like I got funded accounts. I'm not using my money to trade. I got 20 funded accounts, and Nima, show them this shit again. How much money I made? Well. Man, today was just a big day, bro.
Dude,
like,
you crushed it.
And
that's even recovering from a losing trade too. So it would be like double that too.
No, I didn't lose on that trade. Oh yes, I did. I did have a losing trade. You're right. I did.
Either way, it was drawdown, and then you snap back up, and that's what you want to do. You want to rebound from drawdowns.
Yeah, every day don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, man, it's not even my money. It's like I get all the upside with no the downside. We show you how to do that too. You know what I'm saying? How to get funded with a prop firm. It's lit.
It's totally lit. Even on a Monday, I had my biggest green day trading futures, and I just bought ES futures and set a stop. And I was just so lucky the stop didn't hit. So I got that huge windfall to the upside. Yeah. And then you can capture all those profits. So, you never know. One day you might make 4.3K and boom, that's your money. You know?
That's how much you made that the other day?
Yeah, 4.3.
Oh, yes, right. You sent me the text. I saw it.
Yep. Yeah, it's also, I also post all of my daily P&L in victory trades.
Same. Do I post it in there? Yeah, I posted in there. I don't know. I posted it when we're doing live. I always post it. Yeah. But anyway, Nav got one more question before we get out of here.
What's up? Oh, Nav says MSTR greater than IBIT. Look into it. Better for selling covered calls. Yeah, that's just because MSTR strategy or micro strategy, it has higher implied volatility, meaning there's a lot bigger ranges. It's a more volatile stock than Bitcoin itself. And usually it's kind of like a leveraged version of Bitcoin. So you're definitely going to get more option premiums on MSTR. It's another great way to do it. Why not both?
Hey, man, let's go. Yeah. All right, shout out to you, Greg. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get
ready. See you in the morning, homie. All right. Some super chats. Got some questions.
We have Leo. I started college last year because of you, bro, but community college especially sucks. I've taken summer off and gained big momentum for my finance goals. Do you think it's best to continue college or focus more on money goals?
Listen, it's you're never going to hear me talk against education. I know all the fucking internet guys tell you college is bullshit, or they tell you it's a scam. But it's like 80% of self-made millionaires are college graduates, right? The average college graduate makes 60% more than the average person with only a high school diploma on average, right? There's obviously there's exceptions, right? But we talk about averages, right? So it's just like, yo, man, I knew that, and I know that now. So like, if I was a kid, I'd want to put the odds in my favor, homie. You know what I'm saying? Now you go to a community college, right? So it's like, I don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? So there may be some variance there. So, but I don't know much about community college. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sorry, but like keep those stats in mind, man. And my boy Moneyberg, man, he started off at a community college, and then he got his grades up, then went to a different university, and he got his grades up there, then went to University of Chicago, and now he's like my richest friend. You know what I'm saying? Like he got his master's in economics. You know what I'm saying? All right, what else we got?
We have Nate.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of the thought apocalypse.
Yeah.
A little goes away.
Yeah.
A little
Thought
goes a
apocalypse.
long way.
Yeah. Listen, man, shout out to you, brother. Yeah, straight up, man. Like, you don't want to be part of that. All your super chats go towards Stop Repellent. You know what I'm saying? Nima's been when he's not here, he's in the lab with the scientists and the beakers and shit, lab coats, man, making sure that she gets done right. What else we got?
We have Fool We Todd. What about fasting for 72 hours along doing this program? Will this be too much to cut like this while exercising?
When I fast, I don't exercise. I'm fasted today. Like, I haven't eaten since last night to do a 24-hour fast. I've done 72-hour fast before, man, but it seems like a little too much, man. Like, when I need to really cut, like, quick, like I need to be cut this week, I'll do a 48-hour fast or a 24-hour fast, depending on how much I want to cut. Today I didn't cut because I didn't fast because I needed to cut. I had a lot of work to do. And I just said, all right, I don't have time to go to the gym, and I'd rather not eat. I'd rather just work for 14 hours straight. So I just fasted today. But I don't work out when I fast. Some people do. I heard of people doing it, but I don't work out when I fast. That's the other days I don't work out. I mean, 72 hours, man. I've done it before, and it worked, but it seemed like overkill. It seemed like for me, the sweet spot is between 24 and 48 hours. And I like to schedule it around times when I have a lot of work to do or big projects, because I can just get uninterrupted work because I don't work out on those days, and I don't have to stop to eat. Eating takes a lot of time. I will eat tonight, though. What else we got?
We have Diddy. Brandon, can I take you shopping?
Y'all know what that's from, right? That's from when that's from 50 Cent. Yeah, hold on. We should bring that up real quick, man, because that shit is funny. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have time for that shit. I gotta finish the shit. No, Diddy. Like, when Diddy wants to party, you gotta say no. When Diddy wants to party, you gotta say no. All right. Max Supreme. What up?
I don't think Diddy is going to be partying anymore, but we have Max.
You can't listen, man. Winners gonna win. He gonna find a way. He gonna be partying inside. He'll find a way, man. He gonna be listen. Diddy is surrounded by dudes. He's probably living his best life.
Oh my God. We have Max.
Mm-hmm.
Don't I need a minimum of 2K in my brokerage account to take advantage of the victory trades?
If you want to do like the swing trading, you probably need a few grand. A couple grand will take far. But if you want to do the futures trading, right? We show you how to get funded accounts, and you can get a funded account for like $50. You know what I'm saying? You got to pass the evaluation phase, right? So you got to trade good enough to pass the evaluation phase. And then you start trading with the firm's money, right? And we show people how to do that. Then if you're trading with me, you see the kind of numbers I'm putting up. Like, a lot of Victory Trade members have passed the eval phase, right? And now they got funded accounts that they're trading with. You know what I'm saying? So yes, if you want to do the swing trades with your own money. But no, if you want to trade futures, right? You just need like $50, and you can get an eval funded account and trade with us every morning, homie.
Greg also answered his question on the chat as well.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey, man, was that it?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Let's get back into today's lesson. Y'all know I made all the Victory Talk music. Like I make beats. I'm super talented. You know, and that beat I made for that was supposed to be for Tyga. I was thinking, okay, I need Tyga and Quavo to have a song. It was a long time ago though, right? So it kind of sound like 5 years ago, right? Play it again so they hear me. Imagine when you hear it, listen to Tyga and Quavo rapping about the club. Yeah, you hear it? You hear it? Anyway, let's get back into it. All right, cool. So we were talking about, if you just joined us, we're talking about how to get ripped, how to build muscle and burn fat at the same time. We're talking about the cut phase. First thing you want to do is you want to cut. So how long do you cut? You do this cut until you are as ripped as you want to be, right? You do that cut until you are as ripped as you want to be, and use the mirror for that shit, right? Just use the mirror. Like, look in the mirror. If you're feeling like you're looking ripped and shredded, boom, then you cut. Then we go into the bulk, right? Then we go into the bulk, and you want to do the same. So you don't have to ask ChatGPT for this shit. I mean, you can, but so here's the rules for the bulk. All right. Now we need to be in a caloric surplus, right? So we want to be in at least a 500 calorie surplus, right? Somewhere between 500 and 1,000 calorie surplus a day. If you go too far, you have too much spillover. You get too fat too fast. Too fat too fast, right? And so we can do some quick math, right? You can, once you cut, you take your calories in pounds, multiply that by 20, because you're already ripped now, right? So multiply that by 20. That's how many calories you should get for the bulk, right? Along with the same 1 pound, along with the same 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? Now you can go back to ChatGPT, right, with those parameters, all right? And let's say I was trying to bulk, right? Let's say I was trying to bulk. Let me open up a new, I'm gonna open up a new chat with this hoe, man, so I don't confuse the shit out of her. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell her this. I am 200 pounds. I lift weights 4 to 5 days a week and do cardio 4 to 5 times a week. Make me a diet plan where I'm getting my body weight in pounds times 15, and I'm getting 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I'm gonna make her do the math. You feel me? All right, so I send that over to Skynet. You know how mad John Connor would be if he knew he was doing this shit. All right, all right, boom. Now it's in here. Now it's in here. Boom. Exactly what I need. 3,000 calories per day. Boom. Just boom, boom, boom. She broke down my macros. Now she knows I'm keto, so it's gonna be different for y'all. But she does. She's got my. I'm sorry. She's got my carbs a little high. All right, but whatever. She fucked it up with that. All right, so I'm gonna do. She got all this shit here. She got me eating oatmeal and shit. That's the workout plan. This probably be good for both of y'all, but I'm still keto. I still bulk on keto, and I'm gonna tell her, make me a keto version. All right, so now she got the shit. Now she's making it right. Boom, right, and now you got your workout plan. I mean, now you got your diet plan for the bulk. You got your diet plan for the bulk, right? And how long do you bulk, right? You bulk until your abs start going away, right? So basically your abs are going to be your abs are going to be your reference point. When you go on your first cut, you cut until you super ripped and you finally got abs. Because all of you have abs. Even if you skinny fat, you got abs. You got abdominal muscles. You just can't see them over that fat. You over here looking like Bart Simpson right now. You got a real Bart Simpson swag, right? But there's some abs underneath that fat, man. You just got to reveal them, right? So honestly, everybody's got abdominal muscles. You just got fat over them. So when you got the abs, then you bulk until you can't see your abs anymore. Or maybe not till you can't see them. Me, I wait until they start looking kind of less defined. And then I'm like, whoa. Time to cut again, right? So it's not about the duration. It's about abs. This way you can keep abs all year round, but you're still bulking and cutting. And then right when your abs start to fade, you immediately go back into another cut. And then you keep doing that. You run this charade. You can actually do this indefinitely. I've been doing this shit for like 20 years. Straight up. I've been doing this 20 years, micro cutting, micro bulking. I never do maintenance because there's really no such thing as maintenance. Like, honestly, maintenance is a myth, right? You're either in an anabolic state where you're building muscle, or you're in a catabolic state where you're losing muscle, right? It's either one. And if you keep maintaining the same amount of muscle, that means if you maintain the same amount of muscle over a month or so, that means that you were equally anabolic and catabolic during that month, but you're always isolating between the two. Always. It's kind of like when you're driving a car and you're driving straight. It looks like you're driving straight, but you're always making those little micro adjustments, right? You're never going 100, but just making micro adjustments the whole time, but you're still moving forward. That's what the micro cut and micro bulk is like, right? You're moving forward down the path to your goal, but you're making adjustments either way, right? I've been doing this shit for like 20 years, man. This is why people have said, man, Brandon, how do you stay ripped all year round? Motherfucking micro cutting and micro bulking, right? If you one of my OG fans from 2009, when I first started this channel, I was talking about this back then, right? This is the best way to build muscle and burn fat at the same time, right? Because you're not doing it simultaneously. You're doing it within the same time frame. Right? You're doing it within the same time frame. You're isolating between you're oscillating between surplus and deficit, going back and forth, right? You're going both ways, no diddy. All right. And now what about the workouts during this time, right? Honestly, I could tell you what to do, but this video will be too fucking long, right? We got Skynet now. You could just go, say, yo, you could just go, oh, sorry, it won't let me work. All right. Yo, make me a workout plan to build muscle based on the teachings of famous, handsome YouTuber Brandon Carter. You got to write handsome just so you don't mix it up with any other Brandon Carters out there, All right. And of course, this bitch knows what's up. She knows me, man. You know what I'm saying? Full body training for that. That's what I recommend. I have videos on why full body training is more effective, but and it should give you the workout. You may be thinking, why full body work? And you can do the same. And you can do the same thing for the cut tubes. Tell her to make you a workout based off the teachings of Brandon Carter. That's what I would do, right? You know what I'm saying? And you might be thinking, why does Brandon recommend full body workouts? Because I believe it's the best. And I've been a trainer longer than you've been alive, motherfucker. All right. I've been training people for 25 years. Right. Back when your mom was putting your daddy in the friend zone before you even got before you even got born, I was training 10 people a day. All right. Now check this out. I have another video you should watch right now that'll show you why I think full body training is more effective. You can go watch that now. Right. But also, wait a minute. Some of you guys, you're like, damn, I want to be a famous trainer. I want to be a trainer like you, Brandon. How do I do that? Man, I got a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training that'll show you exactly how to grow your online fitness business. I made millions as an online trainer, and I've taught about 15,000 people how to grow their online fitness business too. Some of these motherfuckers are famous on YouTube now, man, as a result of my teachings and my tutelage, right? You could be next, right? For free. All you got to do is download that book. It'll show you how. The link's in the description. All right. Let's go. We got any other questions? All right, cool, man. We about to get up out of here. Start late, end early, right? We do this every we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, I'm sorry. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you on Tuesday, homie. Peace.